Hey, so we are midway through chapter 16, and Malu and her new bandmates had decided on the name The Cocos. She found Ellie walking ahead of her in the hallway and had a great idea. I got an idea and quickened my pace until I caught up to her. Hi, I said. How's your petition going? Oh, hey, Ellie said. It's going pretty well. I've got 113 signatures, but I think I can get more before I present it to Principal Rivera. That's really cool, I said. Can I ask you a question? What's up? Do you play an instrument? Let me think. Ellie looked up, pretending to think about the answer. No. Okay, wait, that's a lie. I played the recorder in 5th grade. Recorder, huh? I said, thinking of how that could help the band. Okay, well, do you want to be in a band? Why would I do that? She said and laughed. I just said I don't play an instrument. This is a totally separate question, I said. Forget the instrument part. Band? I don't know. Ellie said, I'm kind of busy. You've got a guitar pin on your bag, so you must like music, right? I followed her down the hall, even though we were going in the opposite direction from my next class. Well, yeah, I like music. That doesn't mean I want to be in a band, she said. She glanced at her phone. Sorry, I'm going to be late. I knew I was about to lose her, so I had to say the only thing that I thought might make her think twice. It would look really good on a college application, I said, right? Ellie stopped walking and looked at me like maybe she was actually considering it. I'm putting together a band for the talent show, I said. We need a drummer. I can't play drums, she said and waved. We'd reached her classroom and she turned to walk inside. Good luck with your band. Wait, I said. What if I help you get signatures for your petition? Ellie turned around. Yeah? I help you, you help me, I asked. How will I be of any help to you? Ellie asked. For the 100th time, I don't know how to play any instruments. I thought about what Dad always said. You think every musician that has ever lived had formal lessons. If you want to do it, you find a way. You'll learn, I said. We'll help you. We? The band, I said. By next week, Ellie looked dubious. Yeah, I said. Don't worry about it. You in? Ellie looked at me like she was thinking about something else. Maybe which Ivy League school's offer she would accept. Okay, 30 signatures, she said. That will bring me closer to 150. Then we have a deal. She unzipped her backpack and pulled out her clipboard. I took the signature sheet Ellie held out for me. Just 30, I asked? No problem. Chapter 17. Mom sat at the kitchen table with her familiar semester preparation spread. Her laptop was open and there were papers and books everywhere. Whatever you do, do not touch the sticky notes, she said when I sat down. I began stacking her books by size. I wouldn't dream of messing with your system, Mom. You'd better not. How was school? School was school, I said, placing the last and smallest book on the top of the pile. Mom looked away from her screen. I don't appreciate the attitude, she said. Well, I'm helping this girl named Ellie get signatures for a petition, I said, checking my tone. That's great, Mom said. What's it for? Fewer blobs, more real food in the cafeteria. I'm glad you're getting involved, Malu, Mom said, ignoring the fact that I just told her the school was feeding us blobs. She smiled a smile of relief. Like my helping with the petition meant I was settling into my new life and everything was fine. How's language arts? What are you reading? Mom and I didn't seem to have a whole lot in common, but we both loved to read. The Outsiders, I said. I love The Outsiders, Mom said. What a great book. It's okay. I wasn't about to tell her that it was more than okay, that I understood the way Ponyboy felt. The way Ponyboy often felt mismatched, too. Any authors of color on your reading list? What color? I asked. There might be a purple author on it. Very funny. I shrugged. I knew I was getting on her nerves. Mom taught U.S. Latino literature in the English department, so sniffing out authors of color was one of her super Mexican superpowers. There should be, she said. We're in one of the most diverse cities in the country. I let out a pretend snore. Do you have to be such a grouch? Mom asked, gathering her things. I'm glad we're here and that you're surrounded by people from all kinds of backgrounds, not to mention all the Spanish you get to hear and study in school every day. I hope some of it will stick. Why? I asked. So I won't be such a weirdo coconut? I didn't mean to say the coconut part, but it came out before I could stop myself. I mean, so that maybe you'll want to speak it, Mom said, closing her laptop. What's this coconut business about? It's nothing, I said. And for your information, I can speak Spanish just fine. I choose not to. That makes me sad, she said. I wish you thought of it as a part of who you are, that's all. You mean you wish I was? I hate that we're having this conversation when I have to leave for class, Malu, Mom said, glancing at her watch before giving me her concerned parent look. Let's finish this later, okay? Talking about this again with Mom was nowhere on my list of things to do. What did Mom know about the coconut life anyway? Anything else on at school that I should know about? Mom asked as she shoved bags into a large canvas bag. As she shoved books into a large canvas bag. This would have been the moment to tell her about the band and the talent show, but I knew there was no way I could. It would just be one more thing for her to disapprove of. Nope, I said, nada. There's a quiche in the fridge, and I told Senora Aurelia that you'll be here alone. Mom, I can take care of myself, I said. Besides, Senora Aurelia is about 100 years old. I should be taking care of her. That's so nice of you to offer to check in on her, Mom said. I bet she'd like the company. I wasn't offering, I said, following Mom to the door. Mom smiled and planted a kiss on my forehead. Oh, before I forget, she said, I signed us up for the intro dance class on Saturday morning. You aren't serious, I said. My heart pounded like there was a bird trapped inside, trying desperately to get out. Of course I am, Mom said. I told you about it at back to school night, remember? No, I said, shaking my head. You told me to think about it. Well, I let Senora Ramirez know that we're both coming, she said. It'll be fun. Now lock up behind me. The little bird in my heart stopped flapping its wings. I knew there would be no discussion. This was one cultural adventure I wasn't getting out of. After Mom left, I pulled out my notebook and tried to think of some songs to bring to our first band meeting. If we got into the talent show, we would have to perform in front of the entire school, in front of parents and in front of Selena. We didn't have a song or a real drummer. I could never bring myself to sing into the microphone at record store shows. How are we ever going to play as a band? I got that out of control feeling, like when you're on a roller coaster, strapped in and you didn't realize it's too late to get off the ride. All you can do is close your eyes, hang on tight, and wait for it to end. So I called Dad because I knew he could at least slow down the roller coaster for me. Ramon's songs are easy to learn, he said. In true Dad fashion, he had all the answers, or at least some of them. Besides, everyone will be so entranced by the lead singer, they won't even notice if the band is good or not. I don't know, I said. I've never performed in front of a crowd of people. I'm proud of you for trying something that scares you. Dad, I said, do you know what a coconut is? Only the key ingredient in my favorite candy bar, he answered. Why? No, like if someone calls you a coconut, I said, it means you're brown on the outside and white on the inside. I told him about our band's name. That's pretty clever, Dad said, and submersive. It works. I guess. What's the problem then? I thought about Dad's question. What was the problem? Why did it bother me so much that Selena called me a coconut? I don't know, I said. It makes me feel like there's something wrong with who I am. There's nothing wrong with you, Malou, Dad said. You can't let what other people think about you bother you. You'll never be happy if you do. Turning an insult into something you embrace is a good way of empowering yourself. Yeah, sticks and stones, I mumbled, though I wasn't feeling very powerful at the moment. And as far as the dancing goes, if you inherited my moves, the lesson will be a piece of cake. You're a terrible dancer, Dad, I said. Exactly. Step on your mom's toes for an hour, and that will be the last dance lesson you take. Good plan, I said, and laughed. Besides, showing up and making the effort goes a long way, he said. Your mom will be less likely to give you a hard time about it if you at least try. You're right, I said. Hey, have you checked at the record store I told you about? Dad asked. Not yet, I said, but I will soon. I couldn't tell Dad that we'd been right near the store, and I'd chosen not to go in because it was too hard. I knew what he would say. Not doing something because it's hard isn't punk. I lifted my pillow and counted the worry dolls, all pressed and accounted for. Punks don't dance, I said to their little faces before placing the pillow back over them. So the zine that's coming your way is a handbook for coconuts. I'm having trouble using audio over the zine, so if you could just pause with each page and read it to yourself. Sorry about that. Chapter 18, Joe's place was a 2-story brick house with a small, unfenced front yard. When I rang the bell, I sent Mom a text to remind her I was hanging at Joe's. I told her we were working on a school project, which was technically true. Mrs. Hidalgo opened the door, wearing a pink ruffled apron over her jeans and t-shirt. The apron matched the stripe in her hair. "Malou, come on in," she said. "Good to see you again." "Hi, Mrs. Hidalgo," I said. A sweet smell of vanilla and powdered sugar filled the air when I stepped into the Hidalgo's house. I imagined it must be what the gingerbread house in the forest smelled like to Hansel and Gretel, yummy and inviting. But unlike the gingerbread house, the Hidalgo's home felt safe. There was no danger lurking. Unless you counted the possibility of my band plan completely falling apart. "Go ahead and put your bag down," Mrs. Hidalgo said. "Joe's pretty excited about the band." "Me too," I admitted. "Well, I offered Joe my services if the Cocos need them." "Thanks," I said. "I'm pretty sure we're going to need help." "I'm baking, but I'm almost done." "Give me a holler when you need me," she said. "They're in the basement. First door down the hallway." I gave her a little wave and headed in the direction of the basement. As I walked down the stairs, my stomach flip-flopped like a fish out of water. What if the band was a big failure? What if I couldn't find the nerve to sing? What if Ellie decided not to show up after all? I left a note in her locker with Joe's address. "Hey, Malou," Benny said when I reached the bottom of the stairs. To my surprise, Ellie was already there. She sat with Joe and Benny on the carpeted floor. There was a drum kit set up, as well as a few acoustic and electric guitars. Against one of the walls were record crates. I felt like I was at Dad's place, back home again. "Oh, good, you're here," I said, trying not to sound too relieved. "Yeah, I can't believe it either," she said, shaking her head. "Do you guys know each other?" I asked, as I fished the petition out of my bag. "We do now," Joe said. "Benny's in my science class," Ellie added. "Now, hand over my 30 signatures." I found the sheet and placed it in her outstretched palm. "So it's more like 27 signatures," I said. "Is that okay? Because we really need you." The only way I'd even gotten that many was asking Mr. Baca for permission to tape the petition to the circulation desk in the library. Ellie looked at the names on the sheet. I waited, afraid she'd say no deal and leave. "Fine," she said, adding the page to her clipboard. "Did you guys sign this yet?" She held it out to Benny and Joe. "Yeah, twice," Joe said and laughed. "Only one signature counts," Ellie said with a frown. Joe shrugged. "So you're really in?" I asked. "Sure," Ellie said. "I can't play drums, but I do have my own drumsticks." She pulled the sticks out of her bag and held them up. "I asked my mom to take me shopping for these. I'm actually kind of excited to use them." "Wait, you mean you bought us a drummer? You brought us a drummer who can't play drums?" Joe asked. "Punk rock is all about DIY, I said. That stands for do it yourself, and that includes learning how to play an instrument." I smiled at Ellie. I was secretly happy to have another girl in the band. "Watch some videos, listen to the song a bunch, and you'll be playing in no time." "You're nuts, Maria Luisa," Joe said, shaking his head. I made a face at Joe. "Besides, my dad says Ramones songs are easy to play," I said. "Listen to this." I pulled up a song on my phone and hit play. When the song ended, everyone looked at me like I was as nuts as Joe claimed. "That doesn't sound easy," Ellie said. "Your mom offered to help us," I said to Joe. "Can you ask her?" "Oh man, she would love that too much," Joe said. "No way, dude." "Come on," I pleaded. "We need help." "Then you go ask her." "Fine, I will," I said. I stood and stomped up the stairs. I followed the sound of banging metal and found Mrs. Hidalgo crouched in front of the oven, pulling a cookie sheet out with an oven-mitted hand. "It smells really good in here," I said. "Hey, I'm making vegan polvorones," she said. "Mexican wedding cookies." She pointed to a tray on the counter. "Try one." I picked up a powdered cookie and bit into it. "Well, it's good," I said, leaning against the counter. "I think I've had these before. Not vegan, though." "Just trying to add some options at the coffee shop," Mrs. Hidalgo said. "Need any help?" I asked. I won't turn down help, but aren't you needed in the basement?" "Actually, I came to get you," I said, and gave her a nervous grin. "We need your help." "Okay, then. How about you help me finish up here?" Mrs. Hidalgo said. "Take each cookie and roll it in the powdered sugar, then place it on the cookie sheet." She slid a metal bowl full of snowy sugar in front of me. I turned on the warm water and soaked up my hands. As Mrs. Hidalgo and I worked, I tried to get a closer look at the tattoos on her arms without being too obvious. That's it for today. Looks like Malou and Mrs. Hidalgo are about to have a bonding baking moment, so can't wait to see your responses in Seesaw. Thanks, 4th grade.